Hi, welcome to Concealed Carry Omaha. My name's Chaz. Today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do a quick little video on how to present a pistol from the holster. I get a lot of requests from this, from people that take my classes. They, for some reason, thought it'd be a good idea for me to make a video, put it on the internet, so that's what I'm going to do. There's plenty of good videos out there. There's a lot of good instructors that have a lot of good information on this stuff. For what I'm going to be explaining today, this is going to... It's not necessarily the fastest method out there. If somebody was asking me what would be a good draw to be able to shave, the 10,000ths of a second off of the draw stroke for competition, something like that, this is not the method that I would teach. But for the beginner, somebody that doesn't necessarily own those point and shoot mechanics yet, this is a good video this is a good technique anyway to try and develop some of those skills. It really builds good muscle memory because of the way that we do it. All right, so what I'm going to start with today is I'm going to start with a 4 o'clock draw, and I'm going to go through that just because that's a typical carry method for people, and I'm just going to kind of go through some of the steps. All right, so first of all, when we're talking from concealment, like I am today, there's a couple things to think about. With concealment, I'm obviously going to have to cover or clear my concealment garment or clear my cover garment. All right. If I did not have this pistol concealed and it was just exposed on my hip like this, there's one thing that I'm still going to do. Every time I go to draw that pistol, I'm going to bring my support hand high up on my chest. All right. Anybody guess why it's high up on my chest? If it's high up on my chest, it's impossible for it to be out here in front of the gun barrel. You don't want to be that guy that shoots yourself in the hand at the range. It's really embarrassing, and people might not laugh in front of your face, but behind your back, everybody's going to be laughing at you. Right? So every time I draw, hand comes high up on my chest. All right. I'm going to be going through drawing from concealment today, so there's going to be a lot of clearing the cover garment and stuff like that. All right. So assuming that you have proper grip, stance, all of that other junk, considering you know those things already, we're just going to kind of jump right into it. All right. So you can have your hands in many different places when you start to draw. You can start from down here. Some people say that you should have a startle response and have your hands up here. I don't really get jazzed up either way. I just kind of start right here, just a neutral place. All right. And what I'm going to start to do is I'm going to clear that cover garment with my left hand. All right. So when it's on my 4 o'clock side, I'm going to come across and drag over the gun. If I come out front, there's a chance that I can clear the cover garment in front of the gun, but not clear that handle and still have part of the handle covered. So I'm going to come across and I'm going to clear that cover garment like so. All right. When I do that, at the same time I'm doing that, once it's out of the way, I'm going to index my right hand on the gun. Now, the grip, establishing a full, firm firing grip on the handgun before you ever try and pull it out of the holster, that is going to be the absolute foundation for your point and shoot mechanics. If you can't do this the same every time you get that gun out of the holster, you're going to have a different grip angle. I don't want to see you go to grab the gun and get it out a little bit and then get it in your hand and then readjust your grip. All right, we want to have that grip established before it ever comes out of the holster. One of the things that I do up on the I guess for lack of a better thing to describe it, the beaver tail of this Glock, I index that right in this joint of my thumb here, this tender little crease. Once I feel that right there, once I feel that pinch, I will go ahead and make the final move to grab the gun and wrap the handle at that point. So I want to index on that same place every time. Once I feel that in my hand, that's when I will grab and squeeze and begin to draw up. All right. So establish a full firm firing grip on the handgun while it's still in the holster, and we want to do that absolutely every single time. All right, so cleared the cover garment. I've got a good grip on the holster. Then I'm going to pull up on the gun until I've cleared the holster, or until I've reached the height of my drawstring. Okay, I don't want to draw so high to where I start changing my grip angle here, but I do want to make sure that I'm up high enough to where I clear that holster. All right. You'll notice where my fingers are on the gun as I draw that out. All right. You'll notice that my finger's still at a natural point of extension, right on the frame, touching the slide just a little bit. It's not here on the trigger. It's not here on the trigger guard. Okay. Anytime I draw that gun out of the holster, my finger is at a natural point of extension. It's not on the trigger. This is one of the things. This is one of the things where, you know, quite frankly, people make big mistakes. They shoot themselves in the leg, shoot themselves in the foot, or even if it's just as small as shooting the ground in front of you, you know, that's not something you want to do. You need to be very disciplined, and you need to do this very, very slow and very deliberately until you have that muscle memory. Okay. So, once I reach the height of my draw stroke, I'm going to orient the barrel of the pistol towards the target, okay? So my elbow right now, it's pointing back, and I'm just going to point it down towards the ground, bringing the gun up here in front of me. Now, if for whatever reason this piece of paper turned into a real guy, and he was close to me and I had to shoot from here, once I orient down, I can get bullets on him. I can really, if I have to, I can shoot. I can cover my head. I can post up and maybe get some bullets down into his hips or something like that. But there's basically what I'm saying is there's things that I can do. If I have to fire from here, this isn't optimal. I would obviously rather be up here with my sights, you know, in front of my face, to where I've got a good sight picture. I can look down the barrel. I can look at the target. But if I have to, I can do what I need to do from here. Okay? So, thankfully we have two hands though, and I don't have to fire one-handed. For what we're talking about today, where we've got a target, where we've got room to come out to full extension and fire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, orient towards the target, and I'm going to start to push out in front of my face. All right? As I push out in front of my face, my support hand is going to come off my chest, and it's going to meet up with the gun from underneath and from behind. Okay? The way this is going to look, as I'm doing this, and I'm going to turn around here, as I push out, I'm going to index my thumb right here on the side of the frame. Okay? And this little knob right here above my knuckle on my pointer finger of my support hand, it's going to meet up with the bottom of the trigger guard here. Once I feel it, index right in that spot, I'm going to push out, and as I push out, I don't know if you can see this, but my hands are going to come together. All right. Sometimes people say, well, where should I meet that second hand up? And again, this is not my this is not my theory. This portion of this lecture isn't even something that I came up with, but I heard it one time from a guy. He said, clap your hands together, then stop. All right. So wherever your hands naturally come together in front of your body, that's where they should meet up in your draw stroke. So if this is where I clap, my hands should meet up somewhere in this vicinity here. All right. So if you're one of those people that claps like this, then there's nothing I can do for you. You got some issues. Severe motor skill impairment that you need to work on otherwise before you worry about drawing a pistol from the holster. Okay, so back to where I was. So I'm going to meet up right here in front of my, right here, right about the same place where I clap. You'll notice that my finger is still not on the trigger, okay? Look at this. Look at the, I guess the bore axis here of the pistol, all right? If I'm turning around at this guy here, could I take a shot and hit this guy if I had to from here? Oh yeah. My barrel and everything's already oriented towards the target. As I push this out, it stays level. I'm not pushing out with the barrel risen like this. I'm not pushing out with it underneath and then making a final dip at the end. But this gun it's already on target right here. I'm ready to fire. Okay, if I have to, I'm picking up this front sight with my peripheral vision here. I'm not looking down at it obviously, but I'm already picking it up. I'm already picking that up, and I'm pushing that gun straight out in front of me into my field of view. I'm not bringing it up here and doing a big bowling motion. I'm not going like coming out here like I'm casting some bait with the fishing pole or anything like that, but I'm pushing it straight out in front of me, okay? All right, now this is a Glock. There's not a safety on it other than, you know, the little safety bar on the trigger there. So I don't really have to do anything, all right? If I was shooting a single action semi-automatic pistol, then I'd have to click a safety off, all right? Or there's other double action pistols with safeties as well, but there's a couple things that has to happen as I push this thing out on the target. I'd either have to defeat my safeties, or I'd have to put my finger on the trigger and be ready to fire, okay? So what I typically do is I say, all right, we're going to pretend that the side of this target is just an imaginary vertical plane here. Anytime I press out past that, if I've made a decision to fire, I can move my finger to the target. But anytime I want to come back inside of that, my finger has to come off the trigger. If this gun had a safety, anytime I came out, I'd click the safety off, finger on trigger, all right? Anytime I came back, finger off, click the safety back on. If I'm shooting a double action pistol and I come out and I take shot, and I come back, now it's cocked, I would hit that decocker as I come back in past that vertical plane there, all right? So you need to be very deliberate. Now, you'll also notice that the way I'm drawing this gun, it's basically coming up, turning, pushing straight out. So I'm kind of doing two sides of the triangle. And obviously, if we were talking efficiency and if we were talking speed, the fastest way between 2 points is a straight line, so I would, you know, kind of bring it up here. But for muscle memory, that takes a lot more to own that. And you know, when I'm really trying to be fast, when I'm really focusing on speed, and if I'm really trying to get some shots on target in under a second, when we're talking like 0.83 seconds, something like that, that's what I'll do. I'll do a point A to point B, and I'll rise, and I'll just stop that effort right at the last second and let it just fall up into place and stop itself, and I'll pull that trigger, okay? For the beginner, for the novice, to get that muscle memory and to get that point and shoot mechanic, to really own that, the easiest way is up, orient, straight out, all right? And so that's kind of what I'm teaching you today, all right? Up, orient, straight out, okay? And be very deliberate in it. Anytime you're practicing this, wherever you're at, you can do this at home. You don't have to be on the range to do this, but you need to go watch a video on dry fire practice and observe those safety rules, all right? If you're trying to practice this at home and you accidentally shoot your refrigerator or, you know, somebody else or something like that, it's not my fault. If you were don't try and get me to pay for it, because I'm not going to. If you're going to be practicing this, you need to observe safe handgun fundamentals at all times, right? But anyway, so as I draw this, I'm pushing out, finger on trigger, boom, fire, come back. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this a couple times from the holster on the target here. I'm going to let you guys see kind of what it looks like. I'll set up some different cameras and then I'll get back in. All right. But basically, from the front, it's going to be clear the cover garment, grab the pistol, extend on target, boom, pull the trigger. All right. All right. Got my eyes on. I'm going to put my ears in here. Then I'm going to do a couple from the holster. I'll do a few slow, and then I'll do a few a little bit faster, you know, and we'll just kind of work up from there. All right. Okay, so that was just a few times from the holster. Again, not really pushing the clock, just really trying to be very deliberate in how I do things. All right. Okay, gonna clear the cover garment, index on the pistol, draw, orient, push, meet up, finger on fire. All right. This is all muscle memory. All right. I'm not looking at my sights. I'm not taking the time to aim. I'm just drawing out. Once I reach full extension, squeezing the trigger. All right. Okay. All right. Now I just changed out my holster. I was going 4 o'clock with the crossbreed holster. Now I've got an appendix rig from Reaper Holsters. My buddy Will over there at Reaper made this for me. Drawing from appendix carry, there's a lot of the things that are the same. You know, obviously, go back to that old statement of there's only so many ways to get a gun from here to here. All right, but we're just going to talk about some of the things that are different. All right, there's a lot of advantages to appendix carry, and I'll probably do a separate video about appendix carry later. I've always been a 4 o'clock guy, but I'm slowly transitioning in, so I've got a lot of muscle memory, a lot of my impulses to go here. So I'm trying to battle that and make it to where I'm coming here. All right, but a lot of the things are going to be the same. Again, the cover garment, still clearing that. One of the nice things about this is I don't have to come all the way across to clear the cover garment. I can do that right here in front of me. All right, so I don't have to do any big sweeping movements. All right. So right here in front of me, I'm clearing the cover garment, indexing on the gun the same way. I'm going to draw up here, but see how my elbow's pointing out now, where before it was pointing back. I'm just going to do the same thing and orient it towards the ground in the same spot. All right, so I'm drawing up, orienting the gun towards the target, meeting up with my support hand, pushing on out right on target. Okay, so a lot of the same things. Clear cover garment, index the hand on the gun, height of the draw stroke, orient towards the target, meet up with support hand, push on out, finger on trigger and press. Alright, so we're going to do this a few more times. I'm going to put my eyes and ears on, and we're going to get just a few more on target here. Alright. Clear cover garment, squeeze, come back in. Alright. Again, I'm looking at the holster, making sure that I don't have anything in front of it, pushing it out with my thumbs if I have to. Alright. Clear the cover garment, index, orient, squeeze. Okay, finger off trigger, back, cover garment, in the holster. Alright. Alright, so that's from appendix carry. Again, I'm not the best at it. I think once you get the hang of appendix carry, it's probably one of the fastest draw strokes there is. I don't have it, so again, I'm really fighting a lot of things in my brain. I've created just kind of oh, I don't know, some wired connections in there that transfer all the neurons down to my muscles and in my fingers and take me down here, and I'm trying to overpower a lot of that. But I'll get better, and I'll do a video strictly on appendix carry here eventually. Alright, so that was drawing a pistol from the holster. If you like this video, please like it, please share it with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube page, and you can find us at concealedcarryomaha.com. We do some defensive handgun classes, and then obviously the state of Nebraska concealed carry permit class as well. Anyway, hope to see you in class someday, and get out there and train. Bye.